UFC Fight Night Azerbaijan has just taken place, and this is my reaction to the card. So there were 12 fights in total with only 2 finishes on the card. That there in itself was pretty disappointing, I'm not going to lie. But the fact that this card was at a normal UK time, absolutely exquisite. Amazing. There's not a lot of highlights on this card, to be honest. But there are like the key points that were on the card we're going to talk about, obviously. Starting off with the main event, Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree. Look, this was aura farming. I'm roasting, by the way. In the UK, we've got a bit of a heat wave. Goddamn. But yeah, starting off with the main event, Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree. This was aura farming at its absolute finest in there. Round 1 starts. Khalil Rountree's just trying to stand there like he's dark and mysterious, not moving. What the fuck are you doing? Jamahal Hill, Khalil Rountree's piecing him up and he's sitting there shaking his head like, you've been dropped 3 times. We know that he's hurting you. Stop shaking your fucking head. Wake up. I can't defend Jamahal Hill anymore. I can't. He needs to go to the PFL. It's time to go, blood. It's time to go. But starting off with the fight. Look, round 1 I give to Jamahal Hill. I don't think Khalil won every single round, to be honest. I thought Jamahal Hill took the first round. Why was he trying to stay at range and out tit for tat Khalil Rountree?
Bruh.
What has happened to Jamahal Hill? Like, he is progressively getting worse every single time he fights, which is annoying. In the Yuri Prohaska fight, he lost, but there was a lot of things that he could have took away from that fight and implemented in this fight, in my opinion, that would have helped. The body work that he was doing against Yuri Prohaska, the kicks, the punches, he hurt Yuri, took round 2 off him, done really good body work in there. We know Khalil Rountree is built like a shithouse, you can see it there, but he's all fast twitch, big power movements, stab at his body. You know, we know that he slows down, he can't go 5 hard rounds, and this proves it. You know, Jamahal Hill let Khalil Rountree dictate the pace of this fight. But like I said, round 1 I give to Jamahal Hill. I thought he landed more leg kicks, I'm pretty sure, in the matchup. Khalil landed the better shots, but just the activity of Jamahal Hill, I give him round 1. After that, he didn't win a single round. Khalil Rountree ended up butchering his leg. My foot was a balloon. My foot was a balloon. Jamahal Hill's literal, was it right leg? Yeah, right leg. It literally looked like the Elephant Man. Like Khalil Rountree, I've never actually really seen that bad before. It literally like. It looked like he had like a whole cankle up his entire leg, how fat his leg got from the kicks from Khalil Rountree. But this was the problem. Khalil was skirting around the outside. He was on the back foot a lot. So it looked like Khalil Rountree was doing a lot of movement. But it was a lot of just, he was moving but not like really throwing. You know what I mean? Like there was no, like Jamahal Hill should have, because when he did close the distance and get into like boxing range with Khalil Rountree and start letting the hands go and get a bit more active, you've seen success, you've seen him land on him, but it was the constant just following him around. He's got some of the worst footwork in MMA. Genuinely, I can't defend him anymore. I don't know how he was champion. I really don't get it. I actually don't understand how he became champion. I actually don't think he beats anybody inside the top 10. I'm not even joking. I don't even know if he could beat Johnny Walker in a rematch. That's the fall off Jamahal Hill's had. I'm not even joking now. He looked awful in there. But Khalil Rountree won. TikTok pound for pound number 1. The city of Gotham needs me. The Arkham Knight picks up a win. But yeah, back to talking about the fight. A lot of just skirting around the outside. Khalil Rountree, when he did come in, he threw a couple of shots. There wasn't much volume out of either guy, to be honest. But Khalil Rountree was swinging for the fucking fences in there. And this was the annoying thing as well. He'd catch Jamahal Hill, drop him, and then Jamahal Hill get up and go, shake his head. You fucking be on the canvas. I know he's fucking hurt. Just fucking wake up. There was such a frustrating fight to watch. Jamahal Hill could have beat Khalil Rountree, and I'm not like an active Khalil Rountree hater at all. I think he's extremely overrated. I really do. Jamahal Hill was so ass. It was unbelievable. It was crazy. It was such a painful watch. And then I see people complaining about Azerbaijan should never get a fight night again because people get up and then stay for the main event. I don't fucking blame them. Maybe they were on to something in Azerbaijan because that main event wasn't worth staying for. It was dog shit. What's next for Khalil? Ulberg versus Yuri was the direction I thought. Let's go Khalil versus Yuri. Come on. Khalil versus Yuri at like a Tokyo fight night. Is that not like money? Is that not mystique, dark, mysterious? Aura versus aura? Jamahal Hill, get to the fucking PFL. Moving on. Co-main event. Again, another wrong pick for me. I said Bahamontes. He will never be champion. He will never break the top 5. Good striking. Really good striker. Stop just giving in to takedowns. It wasn't even if Rafael Fiziev shot a really good shot and got in and got him down. As soon as he even dropped to his knees, Bahamontes was like already landing on his back. He just gives up takedowns too easy. He will never ever be champion. He will never be top 5 in the UFC's lightweight division. He is too easy to take down. He's too easy to control. What the fuck was that performance? I'm glad Rafael Fiziev won. Nice to see him get a win in his hometown. He actually looked pretty good in there, although visibly slowed down in the 3rd round. That's where Bahamontes really picked it up and started landing on the feet. But then again, starts landing on the feet as soon as Rafael Fiziev goes for a takedown. Bahamontes doesn't defend takedowns. He didn't defend them against Rafael Fiziev. I've never seen someone give up takedowns that CM Punk would have. I'm about to be sick. That's how angry I am. CM Punk would have defended the CM Punk would have defended the takedowns better. That's how what the... I can't even say he's got bad takedown defense because there was no attempt to defend the takedown. Let's jump for a guillotine. Yo, my boy, this is elite high level MMA. You're not fighting on LFA. Yeah, we're not in Cage Warriors making our debut. Yeah, we are in the upper echelon of the UFC. And you're doing that. Like, I don't even know if I would count them as takedowns for Rafael Fiziev. Bahamontes was just fucking pulling guard. That's literally what it was like. Shit performance. Curtis Blades, Kuniev. Oh, this was a close one. I needed Blades to win for my parlay. So I'm glad he won. Look, Kuniev actually looked pretty good in there, to be honest. Round 2. After round 2, I thought, GG, Curtis Blades, it's game over, my boy. Curtis Blades literally looked like he was fucking grey looting Fortnite in there. That's how bad he looked in the 2nd round. Yeah, shit. What wasn't good from Curtis Blades. Shoot some of the worst takedowns I've ever seen. And I don't know, has my brain developed a bit more, or was I, what's the politically correct word now to use, retarded? Because I used to be like, Curtis Blades is fucking epic. Curtis Blades is one of the best fucking heavyweights of all time, man. Curtis Blades is John Jones' toughest test. He's a great wrestler with great boxing. Have I been living under Patrick Starr's fucking rock? Yeah, not the case at all. What's next for Curtis Blades? I don't know. Kuniev actually looked pretty good. Is he on steroids still? I don't know. Obviously, this was his UFC debut. You got to win the Contender Series. He's definitely top 8. I can't even remember what the rankings are. Top 8 material in the heavyweight division, to be honest. Curtis Blades will never be champion though. That there. Wow. Yeah. Moving on. Oralby got the 1st round submission. Oh yeah. Shara my boy. He looked good in there. I can't say his second name. What's that first name, my boy? Goddamn. You know who I'm on about though. Musayev, I didn't know too much about him before he came to the UFC. I know he, if I remember correctly, had a fight in Bellator and had like 7 fights over in Ryzen. I didn't know too much about him, although I did see people try and gas him up, and then Oralby just fucking put him down. If you're transferring over from like a bigger organization, and what I mean by that, like, isn't like an LFA, Cage Warriors, shit like that, you know, like the lower regional isn't what I'm on about. But when you go like to a different major MMA brand like Bellator, PFL, Ryzen, even to an extent, shit like that, and you come over to the UFC, I know for a fact you're losing. I know you're not winning. I just know it. I know that you're not winning. The only other really thing to talk about, which, I mean, like, does anyone know why the fucking UFC, a multi-billion-dollar organization, and their website shits itself like this? Like, the only fight that's actually worth talking about, and has done this. Sikov versus Nicholas Motta. Now, look, I thought Nicholas Motta only had a puncher's chance in there. I really did. But he actually looked pretty good in there. Nearly got Sikov out of there in the first round, to be honest. Nicholas Motta, he was game. He was a gamer in there last night. A lot of people are getting on like this fight is the second coming of fucking Robbie Lawler versus Rory McDonald 2. It was a good fight. Probably, it's one of the better fights I've seen in a very long time anyway with the UFC recently. But I do think people are really overhyping the fight. But it was so, like, this was the only like fun part of the card, to be honest. Muhammad Naimov won against Bogdan Grad, boring as hell. Alban Elliott lost. I did not see this happening at all, to be honest. I thought Alban Elliott would have got the win, but absolutely not. KO ended up mixing up his grappling in there. He looked really good. Really, really good. Alban Elliott 3-0 in the UFC coming into this matchup. KO was getting his first ever, this was his UFC debut outside of the Contender Series. Known for his knockouts, but really mixing his grappling really, really well in there. And I think he could be looking at one more fight before challenging into the top 15. The Iron Turtle gets a win after eating an absolute horrific knee to the face. Classic tortoise in the hare. 2 women's fight nobody gives a fuck about. Tagir Ulanbekov. I've seen some people saying robbery. Can I hold my hands up? I actually didn't watch this fight. I was at a wedding yesterday. That's why the video was out so late today. I didn't get to see this matchup, so I really can't comment on it too much. And Muhammad Usman, I told everybody it is the Usman era again. And he got the win. In a very boring decision. Although I'm glad I backed Muhammad Usman because I actually made a bit of money as him being the underdog. Overall, UFC Fight Night Azerbaijan was dog shit. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. We've got a big John Jones video incoming. Stay tuned. Adios. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbyes.